morning students, myself Bhavesh Bakchandani. Today we are going to discuss one of the chapter of standard 11th accounts. There are two parts in your 11th accounts. Part 1 is including 11 chapters. Part 2 are again there are 10 chapters. Out of part 1 we are today going to discuss a chapter number 6. Name of the chapter is a subsidiary book. In our previous chapter, that is chapter number 4 of journal, we have seen all the transactions in a journal are recorded in a combined way. By this I mean combined way means all the transactions are recorded in a one common book, that is a journal book. Name of the book, that is journal, which means a daily book or a note, or we can say a diary. It is a book in which all the transactions of a business are recorded combined. Means let's take an example. The transactions of purchase will be recorded in this book. The transactions of sales will be recorded in this book. The transactions of cash will be recorded. The transactions of credit will also be recorded. Whatever expenses we are paying will be recorded in this book. Whatever incomes we are receiving, that will be recorded in the same book. When we are depositing money in the bank, that will also be recorded in this book. When we are withdrawing certain amount for business purpose from the bank account of business, will also be recorded in this book. I mean, all the transactions are written in a combined way. There is no separation of the similar nature of transactions. For this purpose, you have been given a separate chapter, that is chapter number 6, a subsidiary book. In this chapter, we are going to write all the transactions separately of a similar nature. We are going to record all the transactions separately of similar nature. For an example, all the transactions of purchase will be recorded in a separate book, that is called a purchase book. All the transactions of sales will be recorded in a separate book, that is a sales book. All the transactions when goods are returned by our customers will be recorded in a separate book called a sales return book. And in the same way, all the transactions of purchase return will be recorded in a separate book. With the help of these books, we can identify all the total purchase or total sales or total purchase return or total sales return. In our previous chapter of journal, it was quite difficult to take out all the totals of purchase or the total of sales. We have to separately make the total of purchase and sales and so on. But in this chapter, we are going to have a separate book for each transaction. So with this book we can have a separate total for all these transactions, for example purchase, then sales, then purchase return and then sales return. In the subsidiary book there are total 8 subsidiary books which we are going to learn. Number 1 is a purchase book, number 2 is a sales book, number 3 is a purchase return book, number 4 is a sales return book, number 5 is a cash book, number 6 is a petty cash book, number 7 is a bills receivable book, number 8 is a bills payable book. These are the main types of subsidiary books that we are going to learn in this chapter. Out of that, for particular this chapter, you will be asked only to prepare first 4 types, that is purchase book, sales book, purchase return books and sales return books. These 4 books are included in this chapter. Another 2 cash book and petty cash book, that is type number 5 and type number 6, will be prepared in our next subsequent chapter, that is chapter number 7. As it includes so many subdivisions of the cash book, separate chapter have been given for cash book and petty cash book. For bills receivable and bills payable, you are given a part 2 for accounts. In that the exchange of bills will be including this bills receivable book as well as bills payable book. I would add one more book as per your syllabus, that is a journal proper. Again, that will be given to you in a chapter number 8. That is a separate book. When none of the transaction is recorded in any of the book, those transactions will be recorded in a separate book which is called a journal proper. At present, let us discuss about the subsidiary book of this chapter. You have been given subdivisions of the purchase book also. Purchase book is subdivided into simple purchase book and columnar purchase book. In the same way, sales book is also divided in a subdivision of sales book, columnar sales book and a simple sales book. In the same way, purchase return and sales return. Let us discuss the rules for preparing this subsidiary book. There are total 4 rules for preparing the subsidiary books of this particular chapter. Rule number 1 for preparing any of the subsidiary book is only credit transactions will be recorded. In this subsidiary books, we are not going to write any cash transaction. Only credit transactions will be recorded. Rule number 2 is only the transactions of goods will be recorded. None of the transaction of asset will be recorded in this book. The rule number 3 is whenever in a transaction it is said that part payment is made. Part payment means out of total amount of goods 50% or 25% or 60% amount is paid immediately. In such transactions, we are going to record the amount with the total amount. We do not have to consider the part payment of the transaction. And last, the rule number 4, it includes that whenever in the question trade discount is given, that trade discount should be deducted while writing an amount. The specimens for purchase book and sales book will be shown to you in our next videos as well as in the next topics. Thank you all.